Hey scholars, it is Wonderful Wednesday. Happy Wonderful Wednesday to all of you at home staying safe and healthy. This is it. This is our domain review. We've learned all about the American Revolution and we learned all about it from our own homes. So we're going to review everything we've learned. A lot of this will just be going over things we've reviewed already, but because we had a week off for spring break and I haven't really seen anyone in a month, I thought it'd be really good to just kind of go over everything and make sure we're all on the same page together. So let's go ahead and review everything we learned, okay? Of course, I have our shout outs. Here we go. From ISU, I have heard from 3 of you. It is typically the same 3 of you, but I'm really glad to be hearing from some Redbirds. I miss you guys. And from Ashford, I have heard from 5 of you. I have seen work from 5 of you. Again, I am just so excited and over the moon that I'm getting to see pictures of your work and getting to see you trying your absolute best. Objective, objective, we learn all about it. I can review what I've learned about the American Revolution and the founding of our country. Normally this would be I can review for our assessment, but seeing as we can't really have the assessment, we'll just review what we've learned, okay? So we're going to go ahead and dive right in with vocabulary review. You can shout the words out. Typically this is where you'd write them on your whiteboards, but you can just go ahead and shout them out at home, okay? After the Boston Tea Party, there were government all over the city. After the Boston Tea Party, there were spies all over the city. After the Boston Tea Party, there were taxes all over the city. After the Boston Tea Party, there were justice all over the city. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After the Boston Tea Party, there were spies all over the city. We pay government for things like roads and schools. We pay spies for things like roads and schools. We pay taxes for things like roads and schools. We pay justice for things like roads and schools. I'm trying to trick you. Who's going to get tricked? You have 3, 2, 1. We pay taxes for things like roads and schools. A large group that makes decisions for many people is called the government. A large group that makes decisions for many people is called the spies. A large group that makes decisions for many people is called the taxes. A large group that makes decisions for many people is called the justice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A large group that makes decisions for many people is called the government. So the way you can think of this is government is a big word and a government is a big group of people. Big word, big group of people. When people receive government, it means they're treated fairly. When people receive spies, it means they're treated fairly. When people receive taxes, it means they're treated fairly. When people receive justice, it means they're treated fairly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When people receive justice, it means they're treated fairly. True or false time. A lot of these are going to look really familiar. A lot of these you probably know from previous videos. But again, with the break we had, I thought it'd be a great idea to go over some of these facts. True or false, when a person is independent, they need help doing something. When a person is independent, they need help doing something. It is false. Goods are things people buy, trade, and sell. Ooh, this is all the way back from the beginning. Goods are things people buy, trade, and sell. A little bit louder. It is true. At the very beginning, goods are things that people buy, trade, and sell. The British government, the Parliament, and King were taxing those goods, and the colonists became upset. Volunteers are people who are forced to do something. Volunteers are people who are forced to do something. A little louder. False. If you volunteer for something, you're doing it willingly. Representatives are the people we send to speak for us in the government. Representatives are the people we send to speak for us in the government. True or false? True or false? That is true. We do send those representatives to speak for us. The first British colony was a settlement at Roanoke Island. The first British colony was a settlement at Roanoke Island. This is from long, long at the beginning. Who remembers? True or false? That first colony was Roanoke Island. That is true. True or false? The colonists were angry they had to pay taxes when they were not allowed to elect representatives for Parliament. They were angry because they had to pay taxes and they could not elect representatives for Parliament. True or false? 3. That is true. No taxation without representation. The British King and Parliament were happy after the Boston Tea Party. The British King and Parliament were happy after the Boston Tea Party. Were they happy? That is false. They were very, very upset. The shot heard around the world happened in Lexington, Massachusetts. The shot heard around the world happened in Lexington, Massachusetts. True or false? That is true. Lexington, Massachusetts, shot heard around the world at the start of the war. The 12th Continental Congress signed the Declaration of Independence. True or false? The 12th Continental Congress signed the Declaration of Independence. True or false? False. It was the 2nd Continental Congress. True or false? A symbol of the United States is a hamster. A symbol of the United States is a hamster. Is that true or false? It is false. We just learned all about those symbols yesterday. A hamster was definitely not one of them. The original flag had 13 stars, one for each colony. The original flag had 13 stars, one for each colony. True or false? True or false? That is true. All people were treated equally in the early United States. True or false? Everyone was treated equally or the same in the early United States. True or false? True or false? That is false. They were not all treated equally. Which founding father? We haven't really talked about the founding fathers since before spring break, so this is a good review for us. There's going to be a sentence. I'll read it, of course. And you're going to shout out which of the founding fathers you think it applies to. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson. And then, of course, when I tap it, you have to watch carefully because the correct answer is going to spin on the screen, okay? Which founding father? Here we go. This founding father loved spending time at Mount Vernon with his wife, Martha. This founding father loved spending time at Mount Vernon with his wife, Martha. Is that George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson? One more time, which one is it? Let's see. George Washington. He just wanted to stay at home with his wife. This founding father wrote the Declaration of Independence. This founding father wrote the Declaration of Independence. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson? Which one? 3, 2, 1. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. This founding father was elected Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Who was elected Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army? George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson? One more time, which one? All right. George Washington, our Commander-in-Chief. This founding father was the first president of the United States of America. Ooh, who was our first president? George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson? Which one was our first president? George Washington, yep. This founding father was an inventor from Philadelphia who had a talent for getting people to work together. This founding father was an inventor from Philadelphia who had a talent for getting people to work together. Ooh, which of these three was from Philadelphia? George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, or Thomas Jefferson? Which one was from Philadelphia? All right, let's see. Benjamin Franklin was from Philadelphia. This founding father wrote Poor Richard's Almanac, a book full of sayings, poems, and stories. Which one of these three wrote Poor Richard's Almanac? Who remembers? Who wrote Poor Richard's Almanac? Let's find out. Benjamin Franklin wrote Poor Richard's Almanac. Which two founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence? Which two signed the Declaration of Independence? Which two? Which two? Let's see. Benjamin Franklin was one. Who was the other one? Thomas Jefferson was the other one. Remember, George Washington was commander-in-chief. As soon as he was elected, he left, so he didn't actually sign the Declaration of Independence. This founding father invented many things, including bifocal glasses, the lightning rod, and flippers. Who invented bifocal glasses, the lightning rod, and flippers? Who was it? All right, let's see. Benjamin Franklin invented bifocal glasses, the lightning rod, and flippers. Right, time to practice some multiple choice questions. According to legend, Betsy Ross, A, refused to make the flag for a new nation, B, fought in the Continental Army, C, invented bifocal glasses, or D, made the first flag of the United States. According to legend, which of these things did Betsy Ross do? A, B, C, or D? Let's find out. D, she made the official flag of the United States. At our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. is named after A, Thomas Jefferson, B, Benjamin Franklin, C, George Washington, or D, none of the above. Who did we name Washington, D.C. after? Who did we name it after? C, George Washington. How many British colonies settled in the United States? A, 14, B, 13, C, 12, or D, 10? How many? B, 13 colonies. And that concludes our review. Now it is on to your packet work, which includes your restate for today. Were all people treated equally in early America? How do you know? I've given you your first sentence, which is they were treated equally or they were not treated equally. So you're not going to copy this word for word. I would suggest whichever one you want to write, you cross off the one you don't want to write so you get confused. So you're crossing off the one you don't want to write, you're writing that first sentence, and then you're going to write, I know because, and then you're going to explain how you know they weren't treated equally. If you need to go back to Monday's video to find more evidence to support your answer, that's totally fine. I'm actually really glad you guys have these videos because you can pause this and look back at Mondays if you need to. All right, so send me your pictures of your restate answers. I loved your restate answers about the flag, the eagle, and the bell. I loved seeing those. I didn't get enough to really tally up who had their favorites though, so we'll see. So again, cross off the one that you don't need for your first sentence and then write, I know because. Was everyone treated equally in early America? All right? And that is it for today, scholars. We are all done reviewing and learning about the American Revolution. Tomorrow, I'll be walking you through writing your rough draft for your writing project on a founding father. I have my copies of the graphic organizers. Make sure you have your copies too. You're only going to need the one you want to write about. So already start thinking, which one do you want to write about? Whichever one I choose to write about, that's my choice. That's not necessarily what you have to choose, but I will walk you through looking at your graphic organizer, picking the founding father you want to write about, and then writing that rough draft, okay? I miss you all. Stay home, stay safe, and I cannot wait to see your restate answers for today. Bye!